Now, I'm going to ask one intriguing question to both of you. Somehow you have 5 years long experience dealing with Pakistan, and you have your short stint, but what are those 3 to 5 habits of Pakistanis which you believe you got inspired, or you fall in love with, or something that you truly appreciate? There could be lots of annoying habits, but something like.
Well, that's true with every culture and every community, right?
So let's only know those which
focus on the positive.
Oh, yes, like this, yeah, so which an alien would pick up coming to the country for the first time. So. Why
don't we collaborate on this?
Sure.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so definitely hospitality.
Certainly.
I mean, I would say, unlike any culture, and both she and I have traveled extensively around the world, there's no doubt when you enter Pakistan, and even this extends almost the further you go from a major city, the more hospitable, the people become. Mm-hmm. Cynthia has some great stories going outside the big cities, but Islamabad and Skardu, if people had very little, they were more and more welcoming to give you, the cup of tea and, open their homes and, welcome you.
Fascinating. Coming from a Guinness Book of World Record holder, could we say Pakistan is the most hospitable country in the world?
I mean, just really, newfound friends.
It's in that top 10 list.
Yeah, I mean,
it's still wonderful.
Unbelievable. And I had things happen to me, that if I had built a risk assessment list, I wouldn't have put having a tooth fall out, things like that happened to me, on day one, and having to find a dentist and all of that. So, the people that during Ramadan, right, when, their shops aren't open, workplaces aren't open, and people opened their doors and took care of me and made sure I was fit for purpose to go on my way, and looked after me on the Karakoram Highway and places, that, maybe weren't the safest to travel. And, I just found people were, very protective, just really opened their doors and really looked after me.
Excellent. Cynthia?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I echo Vanessa's sentiments, absolutely. One of the stories that I'd sort of like to share is that my mother, who is a true Southern belle from Louisiana, and has never been anywhere outside of the United States, of course, was a little bit worried when I first visited Pakistan. And then when we had a Skype call, after me being there for my first couple of weeks, she got to see my torso, my upper body, and she said, "Oh, Cynthia, well, it looks like you've put on some weight." And I said, "Well, probably, Mother. Everywhere I go, the Pakistanis feed me." And she goes, "Oh, thank God. If they're feeding you, they're taking care of you."
Right,
and I thought,
yeah.
What in the world? I'm the world traveler here. And it was just such a revelation for me. My mother, who's a nurse, has a very simple life, goes to work, has her friends and family, very close-knit, but stays close to home. My mother, who's never traveled anywhere, saw something amazing, and through that culinary connectivity, I like to say, she put that together, and I thought, how fascinating is this? My mother all of a sudden was no longer worried that I was in Pakistan, because she said, if they're feeding you, they're taking care of you.
Yeah.
And that was very similar to if you were to visit my mother's home, you're going to have tea and you're going to be fed whether you like it or not. So I saw at that point, I really got to see so much more in common. The further I traveled, the more I thought, this is really just like being at home.
Indeed.
With the food and the hospitality, being a Southern woman from the United States. But also, too, I think I have to say, it is the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. And I, as a Westerner, as a Christian, as a woman, I was raised to be respectful and mindful of all faiths. And so I wanted to learn a little bit more about Islam as I was journeying through Pakistan. And so I visited spoke with a number of imams, and we went to a number of mosques and so forth. And what I came to learn was that within the tenets of Islam, that it was their duty to look after the guests and those who were invited, to protect them and to care for them. And within that knowledge, I became even more comfortable that these were basically extensions of my family. These are my brothers and my sisters, and that we had so much more in common than differences.
Excellent. So the more we are different, the more we are same.